Welcome, my friend. Welcome to another peaceful journey through the cosmos. I'm so glad you're here with me tonight, settling in for what I hope will be the most restful sleep you've had in a long time. You know, there's something I've been thinking about lately. Something that might surprise you right now as you're lying there getting comfortable. There's more water floating through space than exists in all of Earth's oceans combined. Isn't that incredible? All those vast Pacific waters, the deep Atlantic trenches, the Arctic seas, they're just a tiny drop compared to what's hiding out there in the darkness. Europa, one of Jupiter's moons, holds twice as much water as Earth beneath its frozen surface. Enceladus, orbiting Saturn, has geysers shooting water hundreds of miles into space. And that's just the beginning. And you know, if you're finding some peace in these cosmic thoughts tonight, if the idea of all that hidden water out there is already helping you relax, I'd be so grateful if you gently tap that like button. It really helps other restless souls find these peaceful journeys. Maybe subscribe if you'd like to drift off to more stories about the wonders hiding in our universe. And I'd love to hear in the comments which cosmic mysteries help you find your sleep. But there's no pressure at all. We're just here together, you and I, exploring the gentle secrets of space. Now, let's get you really comfortable. Let your body sink a little deeper into your bed, feeling the weight of your own personal ocean. The water that makes up 60% of you, gently pulling you down. That's it. Let your shoulders drop, your jaw soften. Take a breath with me, a deep one, filling your lungs like you're about to dive beneath the surface of a calm, warm sea. And now, let it out, slowly, like bubbles rising through dark water. Again, breathing in that cosmic air and releasing, letting go of everything from today. Feel yourself floating now, weightless, like you're already in space, or maybe deep underwater, where the pressure holds you so gently, so perfectly. You're safe here, completely safe, drifting in this peaceful moment between waking and sleeping. Tonight, we're going on a very special journey, one that'll take us to places where water exists in ways you've never imagined. We're going to start at the surface of Europa, that ice moon I mentioned, and we're going to sink slowly, so slowly, through 15 miles of ancient ice, down into an ocean that's been hidden for billions of years, an ocean that's never seen sunlight, never felt a wave from wind, just endless, peaceful darkness. But it's not just Europa we'll visit. No, we're going to discover water in the most unexpected places. In the methane lakes of Titan, where it rains liquid natural gas. In the geysers of Enceladus that create Saturn's E-ring. in comets that are basically dirty snowballs carrying water that's older than our sun. We're going to trace the story of every drop of water in the universe, from its birth inside dying stars to its hiding places throughout the cosmos. You see, water has this beautiful secret. It's virtually indestructible on a cosmic scale. The same hydrogen and oxygen atoms that make up the glass of water on your nightstand. They were forged in the hearts of stars that died before our sun was even born. And now, those atoms are everywhere, floating through nebulae, locked in ice on distant moons, circulating through underground oceans. We're only just discovering. As we travel tonight, we're going to use the pressure of these cosmic oceans as our guide to deeper and deeper relaxation. 1 mile down, 2 miles down, feeling that gentle embrace of water all around. The pressure that doesn't crush, but cradles. Like a cosmic lullaby, we'll listen to the distant creaking of ice sheets, the slow, rhythmic pulsing of tidal heating that keeps these hidden oceans warm. These aren't violent places. They're some of the most peaceful environments in our solar system, protected by miles of ice from radiation, from impacts, from all the chaos of space. These oceans have been quietly existing, slowly circulating, for longer than life has existed on Earth. And tonight, you get to visit them. You get to sink into their peaceful embrace, to understand their ancient stories. So, let yourself drift now. Let your mind begin to wander toward Jupiter, that giant guardian of the outer solar system, where our journey truly begins. Can you see it? That pale yellow ball with its swirling storms, and there, just a tiny dot beside it, Europa, covered in ice that glows softly in the dim sunlight, calling us to discover what lies beneath. We're about to begin our descent, but there's no rush, no hurry at all. We have all night, all the time in the universe, to explore these hidden waters, to let them wash over us with their ancient peace, to find in them the perfect rhythm for sleep. Let me tell you something beautiful about water, something that connects you to the very beginning of everything, every single molecule of H2O in the universe, including the ones flowing through your body right now. They all have the same incredible origin story. You see, hydrogen, that's the H in H2O. It's the oldest thing there is. It formed just minutes after the Big Bang, 13.8 billion years ago, when the universe was still so hot, so bright, but cooling down just enough for the first atoms to exist. Imagine that. The hydrogen in your body, in the water you drink. It's been around since nearly the beginning of time itself. But oxygen, that's different. That came later, much later. Oxygen can't form in the emptiness of space. It needs something special. It needs the heart of a star. Picture this with me. A massive star, maybe 10 times bigger than our sun, burning so bright, so hot. Deep in its core, it's fusing hydrogen into helium, then helium into carbon, and finally, in those last precious moments of the star's life, carbon into oxygen. The star is literally creating the ingredients for water, cooking them up in its cosmic kitchen at temperatures of millions of degrees. And when that star finally runs out of fuel, when it can't burn anymore, it doesn't just fade away. No, it gives one last gift to the universe. It explodes in what we call a supernova. Though let's think of it more as a slow bloom of light spreading across space, sending all that precious oxygen out into the cosmos, mixing with that ancient hydrogen that's been waiting for billions of years. And you know what happens when hydrogen and oxygen meet in the cold of space? They fall in love. They bond together, creating the very first water molecules. It happens in giant clouds called nebulae, these beautiful, pillowy formations that look like cosmic cotton candy. The Orion Nebula, the Eagle Nebula, they're all the fountains of water creation, making new H2O molecules. Right now, as you're listening to my voice, NASA's Spitzer Space Telescope found something amazing a few years ago. It discovered a cloud of water vapor around a young star, enough water to fill Earth's oceans 5 times over, every single day. Can you imagine that? A star literally surrounded by a cocoon of water, baby planets forming inside that wet embrace. This is how our solar system began too, 4.5 billion years ago. Our sun was young then, surrounded by a disk of gas and dust and water. So much water. Most of it was in the form of ice, tiny crystals drifting through space. Some of it fell inward, toward where Mercury and Venus and Earth and Mars were forming. But most of it, most of that ancient water, it drifted outward, beyond what we call the frost line. The frost line, that's the distance from the sun, where it's cold enough for water to stay frozen forever. Out there, beyond Mars, that's where the real water wealth of our solar system lives. Jupiter's moons, Saturn's moons, the comets, the asteroids, they're all made of that original ice, that first generation of water that formed when our solar system was just a baby. And here's something that might help you drift even deeper into relaxation. All that water out there, it's pristine, untouched. It's been frozen in time, literally, for billions of years. While Earth's water has been cycling through clouds and rain and rivers and oceans, evaporating and condensing over and over. The water locked in Europa's ice has been perfectly still, perfectly peaceful, just waiting. Now, let's begin our approach to Europa. Can you see Jupiter growing larger? That cream and tan-colored giant with its swirling bands, and the great red spot, that storm that's been spinning for centuries. Jupiter's so massive that it bends space around it, creates its own little gravitational kingdom. And there are the 4 Galilean moons, Io, Europa, Ganymede, and Callisto, discovered by Galileo over 400 years ago, when he pointed his simple telescope at Jupiter. He couldn't have known, couldn't have imagined that he was looking at ocean worlds. Europa's the smallest of the 4. But don't let that fool you. As we drift closer, you can see its surface, and it's unlike anything on Earth. The entire moon is covered in ice, but not rough, craggy ice like you might expect. No, Europa's ice is smooth in places, almost like a skating rink that goes on forever. In other places, there are these lines, thousands and thousands of lines, crisscrossing the surface, like someone took a brown pencil and drew all over a white marble. Those lines, they're called lineae, and they tell us something wonderful. They're cracks, where the ice has split apart and new ice has formed, like the moon is constantly healing itself, constantly renewing its surface. And you know what causes those cracks? It's the ocean beneath, the liquid water ocean that shouldn't exist this far from the sun, but does. As we descend toward Europa's surface now, dropping through Jupiter's magnetosphere, you might notice something. It's quiet here, so quiet. There's no atmosphere to carry sound, no wind, no weather as we know it. Just the gentle pull of Europa's gravity, about 13% of Earth's, making you feel light, almost weightless. The surface temperature here is about minus 260 degrees Fahrenheit, cold enough to freeze nitrogen. But don't worry, you're safe, you're protected. This is just our minds exploring, our consciousness, taking a gentle swim through space while our bodies rest, warm and comfortable in bed. Look at the ice beneath us now as we touch down so softly. You barely feel it. It's not white like snow. It's more of a pale blue with hints of brown and tan from the minerals trapped within. And it's old. This ice we're standing on, some of it might be millions of years old, compressed and squeezed by the gravity of Jupiter. But here's the amazing part. Beneath our feet, beneath this ancient ice, there's movement, there's warmth, there's liquid water. How is that possible? How can there be an ocean here, so far from the sun's warmth? It's all about the dance the gravitational dance between Europa and Jupiter and the other moons. As Europa orbits Jupiter, the giant planet's gravity pulls and squeezes the little moon, stretching it one way, then another, like cosmic kneading, and all that squeezing creates friction, and friction creates heat. Just enough heat to keep that ocean liquid. We call it tidal heating, and it's been going on for billions of years. This gentle massage that keeps Europa's ocean from freezing solid, the same forces that create tides on Earth, except hundreds of times stronger, warming an entire ocean from the inside out. Now, are you ready to begin our descent? To sink through 15 miles of ice into that hidden ocean? Take another deep breath with me, feeling yourself getting heavier, more relaxed, ready to sink, to descend, to discover what's been hiding beneath this frozen surface for so long. The ice beneath us is about to open, not violently, but gently, like a door made of crystal, slowly welcoming us in, and we're going to sink. So slowly, so peacefully, 1 mile at a time, feeling the pressure grow around us like a gentle hug, listening to the ice sing its ancient song. We're sinking now, leaving Europa's surface behind, entering the ice, and it's nothing like diving into water. It's more like passing through a dream. The ice here isn't solid like you'd think. It's full of tiny spaces, microscopic pockets, where the pressure hasn't quite squeezed everything together. And in those spaces, there might be life, tiny microbes that have been sleeping here for millions of years. The first few feet down, the ice is young, maybe only thousands of years old, formed from water that erupted from below and froze instantly in the vacuum of space. It's almost crystal clear, like looking through the world's most perfect window. You can still see Jupiter above us, that giant guardian, its light filtering down through the ice, getting dimmer, softer, more peaceful. 100 feet down now, and the ice is changing. It's older here, denser. The crystals have had time to grow, to merge together, creating these beautiful patterns that look like frozen lightning, or maybe like the neurons in your brain, all connected, all part of one vast network. Listen, can you hear that? It's the ice singing, not with sound waves like we're used to, but with vibrations that travel through the solid ice itself. Every time Europa flexes under Jupiter's gravity, the ice responds, creaking, groaning, but so gently, like an old house settling in for the night. These vibrations, they've been happening for billions of years. The same rhythm, the same gentle pulse, 500 feet down, and we're entering what scientists call the brittle zone. Don't let the name worry you. There's nothing sharp or dangerous here. It's just where the ice is cold enough and rigid enough to crack rather than flow. These cracks, they're like highways for any nutrients that might be moving up from the ocean below or down from the surface. A quarter-mile deep now, 1,300 feet, and the pressure is starting to build. But it's not uncomfortable. It's like being wrapped in the world's softest blanket, pressed gently from all sides. The ice here has never seen sunlight, never felt the vacuum of space. It's been in darkness since it formed, peaceful, undisturbed. You know what's beautiful about this depth? We're in ice that might be 10,000 years old, maybe more. When this ice formed, humans were just learning to farm, just building the first cities. And while all of human history was unfolding above, this ice was here, silent, patient, keeping its secrets. Half a mile down, 2,600 feet. The pressure here is about the same as being 80 feet underwater on Earth. That gentle squeeze that scuba divers know, where everything feels slower, calmer, where your heartbeat naturally starts to slow down. And that's what's happening to you right now. Your heartbeat slowing, your breathing getting deeper, more rhythmic. The ice around us is pure blue now, the most beautiful blue you've ever seen. It's blue because all the air bubbles have been squeezed out, all the imperfections pressed away, leaving only pure, solid water. And in this blue world, time moves differently. A crack that starts at the surface might take years to reach this depth, moving inch by inch, day by day. 1 mile down, 5,280 feet. We're deeper than the Grand Canyon now, surrounded by ice that's been here since before the pyramids were built, before the dinosaurs walked the Earth, maybe even before life began on our planet. The pressure keeps building so gently, like when you were a child and your parent tucked you in, pulling the blankets up, making sure you were warm, safe. That's what this pressure is. It's Europa, holding you, keeping you safe as we descend. 2 miles down now, and something magical is happening. The ice is starting to warm up. Not a lot. We're still well below freezing, but Jupiter's tidal heating is starting to make itself known. The ice here is more plastic, more flowing, like incredibly slow honey. It moves, but so slowly you'd need to watch for years to see it. Can you feel how quiet it's gotten? Even those gentle creaks and groans from above have faded away. We're in the silent zone now, where the only movement is that slow, eternal flow of warm ice rising, cold ice sinking, a convection cycle that's been going on Since this moon was young, 3 miles down, the pressure would be crushing on Earth's surface. But here, in this gradual descent, it just feels like the universe is hugging you closer, telling you it's okay to let go, okay to drift deeper. Your body, back in bed, is so heavy now, so relaxed, sinking into your mattress the same way. We're sinking through this ice. 4 miles, and we're entering what scientists think might be the most important layer, where the ice starts to get salty. Those brown lines we saw on the surface, the minerals they carry, they come from here, from this zone, where the chemistry changes, where the ice starts to taste like an ocean. You know, at this depth, we're surrounded by water molecules that have been locked in place for millions of years, each molecule touching 6 others in a perfect crystal lattice, all of them vibrating so slowly, so peacefully. It's like being inside the world's largest meditation bell, feeling those vibrations pass through you, calming every cell in your body. 5 miles down, the halfway point, through Europa's shell, and the ice here is ancient beyond imagination. Some scientists think it might be primordial, original ice from when Europa first formed. 4.5 billion years old, older than any rock on Earth, older than our moon. 6 miles now, and listen, do you hear that? It's different from the creaking above. It's more like breathing. The whole ice shell, I'm breathing as Jupiter pulls and releases, pulls and releases, like the moon itself is alive, sleeping, dreaming, and we're descending through its dreams. The pressure here, it's profound, but not painful. It's like being held by the ocean itself. Every molecule of water in the ice, knowing you, accepting you, welcoming you deeper. Your thoughts are probably getting softer now, fuzzier, like they're dissolving into the ice around us. 7 miles. We're so deep now that if this were Earth's ocean, no sunlight could ever reach us. We'd be in the tidal zone, the deepest, darkest places on our planet. But Europa's ocean, it's never known sunlight anyway. It doesn't miss what it's never had. It has its own source of energy, that eternal tidal heating, that cosmic massage. 8 miles down, and the ice is definitely warming. We're approaching what scientists call the thermocline, where the solid ice above meets the liquid ocean below. It's still ice here, but it's different, softer, more alive, somehow. Can you feel your body back in bed? How heavy it is now, how deeply relaxed. That's the pressure of 8 miles of ice, but translated into peace, into the weight of perfect rest. Every breath you take is slower than the last. Every heartbeat more distant, more gentle, 9 miles. The ice here moves in ways that would seem impossible. On Earth, it flows upward in some places, downward in others, creating these massive conveyor belts of frozen water, cycling over millions of years, carrying minerals up, carrying heat down. It's been happening since before our sun was bright, since before Earth's oceans were blue. 10 miles down now, we're entering the transition zone, where solid becomes liquid, where ice becomes ocean. But it doesn't happen all at once. No, it's gradual, peaceful. The ice gets slushier, more forgiving, like it's preparing us for what comes next. 11 miles. Can you feel it? The ice is more like thick water now, or thin ice. Somewhere in between, we're in a place that shouldn't exist, where solid and liquid dance together, where the boundary between states of matter becomes meaningless. The pressure here would be about 300 times what you feel at sea level on Earth, but spread out over our gentle descent. It just feels like the deepest, most perfect embrace, like the universe itself is holding you, telling you you're safe, you're loved, you can let go. 12 miles. The ice around us is barely ice anymore. It's more like a memory of ice, holding its shape through habit, more than physics. And below us, can you sense it? The ocean, Europa's vast, hidden ocean, waiting just a few more miles down, 13 miles. We're so close now. The boundary is getting thinner, more fluid. The ice here has probably been melting and refreezing for millions of years, never quite deciding what it wants to be, solid or liquid, frozen or free. 14 miles down, almost there. The pressure, the beautiful, gentle pressure. It's like being inside the heartbeat of the moon itself. Everything pulsing so slowly, so rhythmically. Your breathing matching that ancient rhythm. Your heartbeat syncing with the tides of an alien ocean. And now, 15 miles, we're here at the boundary, where ice becomes ocean, where solid becomes liquid, where one world ends and another begins. Can you feel it giving way beneath us, not breaking, but welcoming, opening like a door that's been waiting for us for billions of years? We're about to enter Europa's ocean, that vast, dark, warm embrace that's been hidden all this time. The ice above us stretches 15 miles up, protecting this ocean like a blanket, keeping it safe, keeping it secret, keeping it perfect. Take one more breath with me, one more moment before we cross this threshold. Feel how relaxed you are, how heavy, how ready to sink into something even deeper, even more peaceful. The ocean below is calling, and we're about to answer. We're through. We've entered Europa's ocean, and it's nothing like any ocean you've known. The first thing you notice is the darkness, complete, absolute, more perfect than any darkness on Earth. There's no shimmer of sunlight from above, no bioluminescent creatures making their own light. At least, not that we've found yet. Just darkness, so pure. It feels like velvet against your consciousness. But it's not cold. No. The water here is just below freezing, maybe 28 degrees Fahrenheit, kept liquid by the salt. So much salt. And by that constant tidal warming from Jupiter. It's actually warmer than the bottom of Earth's Arctic Ocean. Warmer than you'd expect something so far from the sun to be. And the pressure, oh, the pressure is magnificent. We're at the top of an ocean that goes down another 60 miles. That's right. Europa's ocean is 60 miles deep in some places. That's 10 times deeper than the Mariana Trench, the deepest point in Earth's oceans. Can you imagine? We've only just broken through, and there's still so much further we could go, so much deeper we could drift. The water here tastes of salt and sulfur, minerals that have been dissolved from Europa's rocky core, far below. This isn't pure water. It's a brew that's been cooking for billions of years, mixing, circulating, moving in currents we can only imagine. Some scientists think the salt content might be similar to Earth's Dead Sea, so salty you'd float without trying, so mineral-rich it could support life. Listen to the silence. It's different from the silence in the ice. This is liquid silence, moving silence. The water here has been circulating for eons, rising and falling, but so slowly, so gently. A current that takes 1,000 years to complete one cycle. A wave that's been traveling since before humans discovered fire. We're floating now in Europa's ocean and around us in every direction. Water stretches for hundreds of miles, to our left, to our right. The ocean curves around the entire moon, unbroken, uninterrupted. One vast body of water wrapped around a world of rock, hidden beneath a shell of ice, protected from everything. You know what's beautiful about this darkness? It's not empty, it's full of potential. Every molecule of water around us could be touching something we've never imagined. Microscopic life that's been evolving in isolation for billions of years, or mineral formations that would look like underwater castles, or currents of warm water rising from volcanic vents on the ocean floor. NASA's thinking about sending a submarine here one day. Can you imagine? A little robot swimming through this darkness, searching for signs of life, listening to the whispers of an alien ocean. But for now, it's just us, just our consciousness, drifting through this peaceful darkness, feeling the pressure hold us, cradle us. Let yourself sink a little deeper into Europa's ocean, maybe 10 miles down from the ice ceiling. The pressure here, it's beyond what any human could survive. But for you, in this state, it just feels like being wrapped in liquid peace. Every inch of your body, back in bed, is feeling that pressure as warmth, as weight, as the permission to let go completely. The water moves around us, but so slowly you can barely perceive it. These aren't currents like the Gulf Stream or the Japan current. These are patient movements, taking centuries to carry a particle of salt from one side of the ocean to the other. It's meditation in motion, the slowest dance in the solar system. And somewhere far below us, 60 miles down, is Europa's ocean floor. Scientists think there might be hydrothermal vents down there, places where water, heated by the moon's rocky core, shoots up into the cold ocean, creating oases of warmth and chemistry. Maybe that's where life began on Earth, in similar vents in our own ocean. And maybe, just maybe, that's where life exists on Europa right now. But we don't need to go that deep tonight. We can just float here in the middle waters, feeling the gentle circulation, the eternal mixing, the peace of an ocean that's never known a storm, never felt wind, never crashed against a shore, just endless, peaceful darkness. As we float here in Europa's eternal night, let me tell you about another ocean, another moon, where water hides in impossible places. We're going to leave Europa now, gently, peacefully, letting its ocean release us, rising up through our imagination toward another world. Saturn is calling us, that beautiful ringed planet with its 62 known moons, and one of them, tiny Enceladus, only 300 miles across, about the width of Arizona. This little moon has a secret that nobody expected, an ocean that announces itself to the universe. You see, Enceladus doesn't keep its ocean completely hidden like Europa. No. Enceladus is an artist, a performer. It shoots geysers of water hundreds of miles into space, creating a glittering fountain that feeds Saturn's E-ring. Imagine that, a moon so small you could drive across it in a few hours, throwing water into space like a cosmic whale breaching. We're traveling there now, drifting away from Jupiter, across the hundreds of millions of miles to Saturn. Feel yourself getting lighter as we leave Europa's deep embrace. But don't worry, we're heading toward another kind of peace, another ocean that shouldn't exist, but does. Saturn grows larger in our vision. Those incredible rings, catching sunlight like cosmic jewelry. And there, orbiting just outside the rings, is Enceladus. It looks like a white ball, the most reflective object in our solar system, because it's constantly coating itself with fresh snow from its own geysers. As we approach, you can see them, the tiger stripes. 4 massive cracks near Enceladus's south pole, named Alexandria, Cairo, Baghdad, and Damascus, by scientists who saw them as exotic, mysterious, distant. These cracks are warm, about -20 degrees Fahrenheit, which sounds cold, but is actually 200 degrees warmer than the surrounding ice. And from these tiger stripes, the most amazing thing, jets of water vapor and ice particles shooting out at 800 miles per hour. But don't think of it as violent. Think of it as breathing. Enceladus, breathing water into space, exhaling its ocean, one breath at a time. NASA's Cassini spacecraft flew through these geysers, tasted them, and you know what it found? Salt, organic molecules, silica particles that could only form in hot water. Everything that says there's not just an ocean down there, but a warm ocean, an active ocean, an ocean that might be perfect for life. We're descending now toward one of these tiger stripes, toward the warmth, toward the cracks, where the ocean touches space. The ice here is so different from Europa's. It's only about 20 miles thick, maybe less in some places. And it's constantly breaking, constantly refreshing itself. Can you hear the geysers? Not with sound, but with your deeper senses. They pulse. With Enceladus's orbit around Saturn, stronger when the moon is farther away, gentler when it's closer. It's like the moon is breathing in rhythm with its orbit, inhaling as it approaches Saturn, exhaling as it moves away. We're sinking through the ice now, but it's a different journey than Europa. The ice here is younger, more active, full of cracks and channels, where ocean water rises and falls. It's like being inside a living thing, feeling the circulation, the pulse, the flow. 10 miles down, through Enceladus's ice. And we can already sense the ocean. It's smaller than Europa's, maybe only 6 miles deep, but it's warmer, more active. The water here doesn't just sit peacefully. It moves, it churns, it rises up through those tiger stripes and falls as snow. We're entering Enceladus's ocean now, and immediately you can feel the difference. This water is alive, with motion, with chemistry. The temperature might be 90 degrees Fahrenheit in some places, as warm as a tropical sea, heated by hydrothermal vents on the ocean floor. The pressure here is gentler than Europa's, more like being a few hundred feet underwater on Earth. Just enough to make you feel held, supported, but not crushed. It's the perfect pressure for relaxation, for letting your muscles completely release, for allowing your mind to drift. Float with me in Enceladus's warm darkness, feeling the currents rise from the volcanic heat below, carrying minerals and maybe tiny microbes that have been living here since the solar system was young. This ocean is only 6 miles deep, but it wraps around the entire moon's rocky core, a global jacuzzi hidden under ice. You know what Cassini found that made scientists so excited? Molecular hydrogen in the geysers, the kind that forms when hot water meets rock, the kind that microbes on Earth eat for breakfast. It's like finding smoke and knowing there must be fire, finding food and knowing something might be eating it. Right now, as you're lying in bed, getting sleepier and sleepier, Enceladus is out there, orbiting Saturn every 32 hours. Its geysers creating a blizzard in space, its ocean pulsing with tidal heat, its depths hiding secrets. We're only beginning to imagine the water around us here in Enceladus's ocean. It doesn't stay still. It rises up through those cracks, gets shot into space, falls back as snow, sinks through the ice, returns to the ocean, a cycle that takes thousands of years to complete, but never stops, never rests, like your breathing. Constant, rhythmic, eternal. Feel how relaxed you are now. You've traveled through 2 alien oceans, felt the pressure of miles of ice and water, experienced the peace of worlds that have been quietly harboring these secret seas for billions of years. Your body is so heavy, so comfortable, as if you're floating in your own warm ocean of sleep. We're going to leave Enceladus soon, drift toward other hidden waters, other impossible oceans. But for just a moment more, float here in this warm darkness, feeling the gentle currents, the rising heat, the soft pressure that holds you like a mother holds a sleeping child. These oceans, Europa's and Enceladus's, they're out there, right now, real as the bed you're lying in, moving in their ancient rhythms, keeping their secrets, waiting for the day we finally visit them in person. But tonight, they're yours. Peaceful sanctuaries in your mind, where you can always return when you need to find deep sleep. Now we're drifting away from Enceladus, leaving its warm ocean behind. But we're not going far. We're staying in Saturn's realm, moving towards something even stranger, even more dreamlike. We're heading to Titan, Saturn's largest moon, a world where the word ocean means something, completely different. Titan is huge, bigger than Mercury, the only moon in our solar system, with a thick atmosphere. So thick, you could strap wings to your arms and fly through it. And through that orange haze, that thick blanket of nitrogen and methane, something incredible is hidden. Lakes and seas that would seem impossible anywhere else. You see, Titan is cold, so cold, -290 degrees Fahrenheit. At that temperature, water is harder than granite. It forms the bedrock, the mountains, the solid ground. But methane, the stuff we call natural gas, on Earth, at those temperatures, methane becomes liquid. It flows, it pools, it rains. We're descending through Titan's atmosphere now, and it's nothing like falling through space. This is thick, soup thick. The atmosphere is 4 times denser than Earth's, pressing in on you, but gently, like being wrapped in heavy blankets, layer after layer of orange haze. Can you see the surface appearing below? It's dark here, darker than an overcast day. On Earth, the sun is so far away, and the atmosphere so thick that noon on Titan is like deep twilight, eternal dusk. But there's enough light to see the lakes, the beautiful, impossible lakes. Kraken Mare, that's the largest one. A sea of liquid methane, bigger than all the Great Lakes combined. It stretches across Titan's North Pole, dark and smooth as glass. Can you imagine? While Earth has its Arctic Ocean full of water ice, Titan has its own Arctic Sea full of liquid natural gas. We're floating above Kraken Mare now, and it's so still, so perfectly still. The gravity here is only 14% of Earth's, and the atmosphere is so thick that waves can barely form. When they do, they move in slow motion, rising and falling like the breathing of a sleeping giant. Let's sink into this alien sea. Don't worry, it won't feel cold in our state of consciousness, just different, dreamy. The liquid methane is less dense than water, so we sink more slowly, more gently, like falling through honey-thick air. The darkness here is different from Europa's ocean, different from Enceladus. This is amber darkness, golden darkness. Some sunlight does filter through, tinted orange by the atmosphere above, then filtered again through the liquid methane, creating this eternal sunset glow. Listen, can you hear that? It's the sound of rain, but not water rain, methane rain, falling so slowly in the low gravity and thick atmosphere, each drop taking minutes to fall from cloud to sea. It's been raining here for millions of years, filling these lakes drop by drop. The slowest storm in the solar system. Beneath us, Kraken Mare might be 600 feet deep, in places, not as deep as the water oceans we've visited, but deep enough to get lost in, deep enough to dream in. The liquid methane here has been cycling for eons, evaporating, forming clouds, raining, flowing through rivers, back to the sea, just like Earth's water cycle, but with natural gas. There might be things dissolved in this methane sea, complex organic molecules, the building blocks of life as we don't know it. Some scientists wonder, could there be life here? Not life like us, not water-based, but something that drinks methane instead of water, something that would find our Earth as hostile as we find Titan. We're drifting deeper into Kraken Mare now, maybe 100 feet down. The pressure here is so gentle, barely more than being in a swimming pool on Earth. But the stillness, the absolute stillness, is profound. No currents, no tides, no waves, just the occasional drift of organic particles sinking like snow. You know what's at the bottom of these methane seas? Probably organic sludge, billions of years of complex carbon molecules that rained from the sky, settled to the bottom, creating layers of history, of chemistry, of possibility. It's like the universe is running an experiment here, seeing what happens when you mix carbon and cold and time. Your breathing is so slow now, matching the rhythm of Titan's lazy rain. Your body so heavy and warm in your bed, while your mind floats in this cold, alien sea, every muscle released, every thought dissolving like methane rain into an endless ocean. There's another sea here on Titan, Ligeia Mare, smaller than Kraken, but just as mysterious. NASA once caught a radar glimpse of something they called the Magic Island, something that appeared and disappeared in Ligeia Mare. Was it bubbles, a wave, something floating? We don't know. Titan keeps its secrets. And in the southern hemisphere, there's Ontario Lacus, a lake of methane, the size of Lake Ontario, fed by rivers with names like Vid Flumina, which flows for 250 miles through canyons of frozen water, carrying liquid methane to the sea. These rivers, imagine floating down one, the current moving so slowly you can barely tell you're moving. The banks made of water ice, harder than rock. The sky above, thick and orange. It would take days to float from source to sea. Days of perfect, dreamlike quiet. We're rising from Titan's methane seas now, but slowly, so slowly, let the liquid release you gently. Let yourself float up through that amber darkness, through the surface that barely ripples as you emerge. The evaporation rate here is so slow that these seas barely change over centuries, millennia, as we lift above Titan. Look back at those dark seas scattered across the North Pole. They look like holes in the world, windows into something deeper. And they are. They're windows into a completely different kind of chemistry, a different way for a world to have oceans. But we have more oceans to visit, more hidden water to discover. Let's return to Jupiter's system, to moons we passed by on our way to Europa, moons that hide their own incredible secrets. Ganymede is calling us now, the largest moon in the solar system. Bigger than Mercury, bigger than Pluto, so large. It has its own magnetic field. The only moon that does. We're approaching it now, seeing its ancient, battered surface, half bright ice, half dark rock, like a world that can't decide what it wants to be. But Ganymede has already decided, deep inside. It's made the same choice as Europa and Enceladus. It's chosen to have an ocean, not just one ocean, but possibly several, stacked on top of each other, like layers in a cosmic cake. You see, Ganymede is so large, so massive, that the pressure in its interior does strange things to water, creates forms of ice that don't exist on Earth, ice that's heavier than water, ice that sinks instead of floats. And between these strange ice layers, oceans, multiple oceans, each one separated from the others, each one with its own chemistry, its own secrets. We're descending through Ganymede's ice shell now, and it's different from Europa, thicker, maybe 90 miles thick. That's right, 90 miles of ice before we reach the first ocean. But we don't need to hurry. We have all the time in the universe, all the time in your sleep cycle, to sink through this ancient ice. The ice here tells stories, impact craters from 4 billion years ago, perfectly preserved. Some parts of Ganymede's surface haven't changed since the solar system was young. They're like a museum, a record of every cosmic collision, every ancient impact. 50 miles down through Ganymede's ice now. And the pressure is building beautifully, wrapping around your consciousness like the heaviest, softest blanket. The ice here might be 1 million years old, or 1 billion, compressed into forms that would seem alien to Earth scientists. And now, we're entering Ganymede's first ocean. Yes, the first one. This ocean might be 60 miles deep, sandwiched between the ice above and more ice below, but not normal ice. This is ice the 3, ice that forms under such pressure. It has a completely different crystal structure. Float here in Ganymede's dark ocean, larger than all of Earth's oceans combined. yet completely hidden, completely silent. The water here has been circulating for billions of years, kept liquid by radioactive decay in Ganymede's core, by tidal heating from Jupiter, by the insulation of all that ice above and below. But we could go deeper, through that layer of heavy ice, into another ocean, and below that, possibly another, like Russian nesting dolls made of water and ice, each layer hiding another secret, another possibility for life, the deepest ocean, the one closest to Ganymede's rocky core. That's where things get really interesting. That water might be in contact with rock, with minerals, with the chemistry needed for life. It's so far down, under so much pressure. But pressure doesn't destroy possibilities. It creates them, forces molecules together in new ways, new combinations. Your body is feeling that pressure now. All those layers, all those miles of ice and ocean pressing down. But it's not crushing, it's cradling, holding you in place, keeping you safe while you drift deeper and deeper into sleep. We're leaving Ganymede now, but slowly, letting those layered oceans release us one by one, each ocean saying goodbye, each layer of ice letting us pass until we emerge into space again, weightless, floating. But wait, there's one more Galilean moon, Callisto, the most distant of Jupiter's 4 large moons, and perhaps the most mysterious. Callisto looks dead from the outside, the most heavily cratered object in the solar system. Every impact that ever hit it is still visible, nothing erased, nothing renewed. It looks like it's been sleeping for 4 billion years, but appearances deceive. Beneath that ancient, battered surface, Callisto hides an ocean too, maybe 100 miles down, wrapped around a core that's a mixture of rock and ice, insulated by layers we don't fully understand. We're not going to descend through Callisto tonight. We're getting so sleepy, so heavy. But just knowing it's there, another ocean, another possibility. The 4 large moons of Jupiter, and 3 of them, maybe all 4 if Io has a magma ocean, have hidden seas. As we float here between these ocean moons, let's think about what this means. Jupiter, that giant planet, is surrounded by more water than exists on Earth. Each of its moons, a different experiment in how to hide an ocean, how to keep water liquid in the cold darkness. Europa, with its thin ice shell and deep ocean. Ganymede, with its multiple layers. Callisto, with its ancient secret sea. And these are just the moons we know about. Jupiter has 79 moons. How many of them hide water? How many of them have oceans we haven't even imagined yet? The same questions apply to Saturn, to Uranus, to Neptune. Each of these giant planets, surrounded by moons, and many of those moons made largely of ice, warmed by tidal forces, by radioactive decay, by processes we're only beginning to understand. Your breathing is so slow now, so deep, each breath taking longer than the last, like you're breathing with the rhythm of these distant moons, with their slow orbits around their giant planets. These oceans we've visited tonight, they're all out there, right now. Europa's deep darkness, Enceladus's warm fountains, Titan's methane seas, Ganymede's layered oceans, Callisto's hidden waters, all of them moving in their ancient rhythms, all of them keeping their secrets, all of them waiting. And you're sinking too, sinking into your bed, like it's your own personal ocean, feeling the weight of all that cosmic water, all those hidden seas, pressing you down into the deepest, most peaceful sleep. The universe is full of water, so much more than we ever imagined. And tonight, all of it is holding you. All of it is singing you to sleep with the sound of ancient tides, of ice slowly cracking, of geysers breathing into space, of methane rain falling through orange skies. But we're not done yet. Oh no. The water goes even further, even deeper into space. Let me tell you about the dwarf planets, those small worlds at the edge of our solar system and beyond. They're hiding water too, in the most unexpected ways. Pluto, dear little Pluto, 3 billion miles from the sun. So far away that sunlight takes 5.5 hours to reach it. We thought it was just a frozen rock, a dead world at the edge of everything. But then, NASA's New Horizons spacecraft flew by in 2015 and showed us something nobody expected. Pluto has an ocean too. Can you believe that? At the edge of our solar system, where the sun is just another star in the sky, where temperatures drop to -380 degrees Fahrenheit, there's liquid water hidden beneath nitrogen glaciers and methane snow. We're traveling there now, drifting past Neptune, past the Kuiper Belt, into the deep freeze of the outer solar system. It's so quiet out here, so perfectly quiet. The sun is just a bright point, no warmer than a full moon on Earth. And there's Pluto, growing larger, that heart-shaped plain of nitrogen ice called Tombaugh Regio, making it look like the solar system's Valentine. But beneath that heart, beneath all that exotic ice, something impossible is happening. The ocean is maybe 60 miles down, under a shell of water ice mixed with nitrogen and methane, kept liquid by what? Pluto's too small, for much tidal heating, too old for much radioactive warmth. But the ocean's there. We can see the signs. The way the surface has cracked and shifted, the way the ice shell has moved over time. Some scientists think there might be ammonia in Pluto's ocean, antifreeze, keeping the water liquid at temperatures that should freeze everything solid. A bitter ocean, an ammonia sea, but still water, still an ocean, still another place where chemistry happens, where molecules mix, where possibilities exist. We're not going to descend through Pluto's ice tonight. We're getting too sleepy, too heavy. But just imagine it, an ocean at the edge of everything, keeping itself warm through sheer determination, through chemical tricks. We're only beginning to understand, and Pluto's not alone. Out here, its moon Charon might have had an ocean once, frozen now. But the cracks are still there, the evidence of ancient water. And beyond Pluto, in the scattered disk, the Kuiper Belt, there are thousands of icy bodies. How many of them have oceans? How many of them are keeping water liquid through methods we haven't even thought of? Let's drift sunward, a little, to the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter, to a dwarf planet that's much closer, but just as surprising, Ceres, the largest object in the asteroid belt, and another keeper of hidden water. Ceres is small, only 600 miles across, about the size of Texas. But it's 25% water ice, maybe more, and deep inside, there might be liquid, a muddy ocean, or at least pockets of brine, salty water that refuses to freeze. NASA's Dawn spacecraft orbited Ceres for 3 years and found these bright spots, deposits of salt, places where water once erupted from the interior, froze instantly in the vacuum, and left behind these glowing white deposits like tears that crystallized. The most fascinating spot is a Cater crater, where these salt deposits are only 2 million years old. That's yesterday in cosmic time. It means Ceres is still active, still moving water from its interior to its surface, still alive in its own quiet way. There might not be a global ocean in Ceres anymore, but there are reservoirs, pockets of brine, dozens of miles down, kept liquid by salt, by pressure, by the faint warmth of a small world's core. Each pocket, like a secret lake, a hidden pool where water waits in the darkness. Your eyelids are so heavy now, like they're made of cosmic ice, weighted down by all this water we've discovered, all these oceans and seas and hidden pools scattered through the solar system. But the water doesn't stop at the edge of our solar system. No, it goes on and on and on. Let me tell you about comets, those dirty snowballs that swing around the sun in long, lazy orbits. Comets are mostly water ice, ancient ice, primordial ice that formed in the same nebula that created our sun. When a comet approaches the sun, that ice sublimes, turns directly from solid to gas, creating those beautiful tails that can stretch for millions of miles. Halley's Comet, which visits us every 76 years, is about 60% water ice. That's billions of tons of water orbiting the sun. And Halley's just one comet. There are trillions of them out in the Oort cloud, that vast sphere of icy bodies that surrounds our solar system. The Oort cloud, it extends halfway to the nearest star, maybe a light year or more from the sun, and it's full of water, so much water. Each comet, a frozen ocean, waiting. Some of them will never fall toward the sun, never melt, never release their water. They'll keep it frozen forever. Perfect ice crystals that formed 5 billion years ago. But some comets fall inward, and when they do, they bring water with them. In fact, some scientists think that's how Earth got its oceans, from comets, from asteroids, from space ice that fell from the sky over millions of years. Every glass of water you've ever drunk, it might have traveled through space for billions of years before reaching your lips. You're almost asleep now. I can tell. You're breathing so slow, so deep, like the slow orbit of a comet, taking centuries to complete one breath. And beyond our solar system, out in interstellar space, there's even more water. In the Orion Nebula, that stellar nursery, 1,500 light-years away, there's enough water vapor to fill Earth's oceans 60 times a day. It's creating new water molecules right now, right this second. Hydrogen and oxygen atoms meeting in the darkness, bonding, becoming H2O. There are water clouds around dying stars, water in the atmospheres of planets orbiting other suns, water frozen in interstellar ice grains that drift between the stars like cosmic snow. The universe is drowning in water, swimming in it, made of it. We've even found water around a black hole, APM 082795255, 12 billion light-years away. It has a cloud of water vapor around it that contains 140 trillion times more water than all of Earth's oceans. Can you imagine? A black hole wearing a cloak of water vapor, the largest reservoir of water ever detected. That water is 12 billion years old. It's been there since the universe was only 1.6 billion years old. Before our sun existed, before our galaxy had even finished forming, ancient water, primordial water, the great-grandmother of all the water in our solar system. Space is an ocean not of water, but full of water. Every cubic meter of what looks like empty space contains a few molecules of H2O, drifting, wandering, waiting to become part of something. A planet, a moon, a comet, maybe even life. As you drift off to sleep tonight, remember this: you're not separate from all that cosmic water. You're part of it. The water in your body has been on an incredible journey, formed in the death of stars, drifted through space, fell to earth, cycled through clouds and rain and oceans, through dinosaurs and ancient seas. And now it's in you, helping you think these thoughts, helping you dream these dreams. We're coming to the end of our journey now, floating back toward Earth, toward home. But we're bringing the peace of all those hidden oceans with us, the quiet darkness of Europa's depths, the warm embrace of Enceladus's sea, the strange stillness of Titan's methane lakes, the layered mysteries of Ganymede, the impossible persistence of Pluto's ocean. All of them are out there right now, as you're falling asleep, moving in their slow rhythms, keeping their secrets, waiting for us to visit them properly one day. But tonight, they've been yours, your private sanctuaries, your peaceful places. The pressure of all those miles of ice and water, it's transformed into the weight of perfect sleep, pressing you down into your bed, into dreams, into rest, so deep it feels like floating in a cosmic ocean. And if you're still awake, still drifting through space with me, that's perfectly okay. Some nights, the mind wants to wander a little longer, wants to explore just a bit more. Maybe you'd like to continue this journey. There's another sleep story waiting for you, ready to carry you even deeper into rest. You don't need to do anything, don't need to move. Just let the next video play. Let my voice continue. Let another adventure begin. It could be a journey through a cosmic garden where stars bloom like flowers, or a gentle flight through auroras dancing on alien worlds, or maybe a slow drift down through the layers of Jupiter's endless clouds. Each story ready to catch you, to carry you, to help you find that perfect moment when consciousness becomes dreams. There's no rush, no pressure. If you want to keep floating through space with me, the universe has infinite stories to tell, infinite peaceful places to explore. Just let the playlist continue. Let the next story begin. Let yourself sink even deeper. But if you're already drifting away, already finding that edge between wake and sleep, then just know this: you're safe, you're held, you're exactly where you need to be. Thank you for joining me on this journey. through the hidden waters of space. Thank you for trusting me with your time, with these precious moments before sleep. It means everything to me that you chose to spend this time exploring the cosmos together. You've traveled so far tonight through ice and ocean and space itself. You've felt the pressure of alien seas, floated in impossible waters, discovered that the universe is far wetter, far more alive than we ever imagined. And now, all that water, all those peaceful oceans, they're part of you, part of your dreams. The water in your body is listening to its cosmic family, recognizing itself in all those distant oceans, feeling the pull of its ancient home among the stars. Let it carry you now. Let it remember its journey through space and time. Let it rock you to sleep with memories of stellar nurseries and comet tails and hidden seas. Every breath you take is getting slower, deeper, like the slow circulation of Europa's ocean. Every heartbeat is getting softer, more distant, like the pulse of Enceladus's geysers. Your thoughts are dissolving, dispersing, like ice subliming into space. You're made of star stuff, of comet water, of the same atoms that float through nebulae and swim in alien seas. And tonight, all of it is pulling you toward sleep, toward dreams, toward rest as deep and peaceful as those hidden oceans. Sleep now. Let go completely. You've earned this rest, this peace, this gentle drift into unconsciousness. The oceans of Europa and Enceladus are holding you. The methane seas of Titan are singing to you. The impossible waters at the edge of the solar system are calling you home. Close your eyes, or let them close themselves. It doesn't matter. You're already mostly asleep, already floating in that space between worlds, between wake and dream, between Earth and stars. Good night, my dear friend. Good night, fellow traveler. Good night, child of the cosmos. May your dreams be filled with peaceful oceans, with gentle tides, with the quiet knowledge that you're part of something vast and beautiful and eternal. Sweet dreams, and remember, whenever you need to return to these peaceful waters, whenever you need to feel the embrace of cosmic oceans, they're here, waiting for you. Always waiting, always peaceful, always home. Sleep well, sleep deep, sleep peacefully. Good night.